Today, we'll be making this hanging lantern decoration. Your printed template should have 3 pages. On the first page, we will cut out each of these small squares. There should be 4 stacks, each with 6 squares. They will display vertically, like this, when they are assembled onto the lantern. Now is a good time to lay them out in order to make sure you have all the pieces. Everything looks good, so let's set them aside for now. Next, we'll cut out the 8 rectangles on the second page. The center line should be cut at 5.5 inches. You should end up with 8 rectangles that are identical in size. On the last page, we'll cut 4 more rectangles and 5 little squares. Add the 4 new rectangles to the ones we cut earlier, and set the squares to the side. Take out all of the rectangle pieces. There should be 12 altogether. On each rectangle, score a fold line 9/16 of an inch from each end. That's the little mark just after the half-inch mark. Lay the rectangle on the scoring board the long way. Find the half-inch mark, then move over one to the right and score. Turn the rectangle around and score the other end the same way. Continue this process until you've scored both ends of all 12 rectangles. Now, take those same rectangles and fold them in half. Use the scoring tool to press down the crease, then do the same with the two end folds we created earlier. Continue this process until all 12 rectangles are folded. Now, take out some double-sided craft tape. Turn the rectangles face down so that the folds are bending towards the table. Place a small strip of tape on the little folded section on each end. Continue this process until all 12 rectangles have tape on both ends. Take out 4 of the rectangle pieces. Peel the tape on one end of the first rectangle. Take out one of the little squares we cut earlier. Line up one edge of the square with the fold line of the rectangle piece and stick it down. Now, repeat the process with the other 4 rectangles, so that all 4 sides of the square end up covered. It should end up looking like a plus sign. Flip the whole thing over. Fold the left and right sides into the center. Remove the backing from the tape. Now, fold the top and bottom pieces in on top. They should stick together on the corners. Peel the backing off of the tape. Grab another of the small square pieces, center it over the tape section and press it down. Count out 4 more rectangle pieces. We're going to create another plus sign shape on top of this square now. Peel the backing off of one end of a rectangle. Turn its sticky side down, line up the fold of the rectangle with the edge of the little square and press it down. Use the other 3 rectangles to do the same thing on the other sides of the square. Another plus sign shape. Fold the top and bottom pieces into the center and remove the tape backing. Next, fold the left and right sides on top, then remove their tape backing as well. Take another of your little squares, center it on top and stick it down. We've got 2 layers of our lantern assembled now. Take out the last 4 rectangle pieces. Peel the tape backing off on one end, line up the fold of the rectangle with the edge of the center square on one side and stick it down. Continue this process with the other 3 rectangles until there is one on each side of the center square again. Fold in the left and right sides, then peel off the tape backing. Fold the top and bottom sides on top, then peel their tape backing as well. Center one of the small squares over the sticky part and press it down. There should still be one little square left over. Set it to the side for now. Take out the little decorated squares. Choose a side to start with and arrange the squares in the order you want them, from top to bottom. Next, flip the squares over and add craft tape to the back. I'm using 2 small strips on each. Peel the backing off of the tape. Lay the lantern on its side. You should see 6 squares stacked vertically. This is where we will center and stick our 6 little design squares. Peel and stick the squares in order from bottom to top. Only the first square will show when the lantern is folded flat. Stretch it out, and you should see your whole design. Now, let's do the same thing on the other 3 sides. Turn the lantern to the next blank side and grab another stack of 6 design squares. Lay them out in the order you want them from top to bottom. Flip the squares over and add tape to the back of each one. Peel off the tape backing and center each square onto the lantern from bottom to top. We're halfway there. Choose a stack of squares for the next blank side. Lay them out in the order you want them from top to bottom. Flip the squares over and add tape to the back of each one. Peel off the tape backing and center each square onto the lantern from bottom to top. Only one more side to go. Take out your last group of designed squares and lay them out in the order you want them from top to bottom. Flip the squares over and add tape to the back of each one. Peel the backing off of the tape and stick the squares onto the lantern from bottom to top. Holy Toledo, we did it! Lastly, we need to add a loop to the top for hanging and a platform to the bottom for weight. Choose any cardstock you like and cut it into a 6.5 by 6.5 inch square. Flip the lantern over and place craft tape on the bottom center square. Peel the backing off of the tape, flip the lantern right side up again, center it over the cardstock square, then press it down. Now, we'll add a hanging loop to the top. This is where that last little square comes in. Use a cutting board and craft knife to make a small slit in the center of the little square. Cut a small length of ribbon or string for the loop. Fold the ribbon in half and feed both of the loose ends through the slit, creating a loop on one side. Easier said than done, hee hee. Use regular Scotch tape to secure the ends on the back side. Add double-sided tape to the back of the loop square, center it onto the top of the lantern, and press it down. Now, you're ready to hang and enjoy. Add battery-powered tea lights inside each section for added flair.